Hi, and thanks for watching. I want to talk today about what OCD isn't. Now, that might seem like an odd topic, but this is about something that sticks in the craw of every OCD sufferer around the world. There is a perceived notion, especially prominent on the internet, that OCD is about being a neat freak, or as some people say, being anal retentive. It never has been about that. It isn't about that. And it's never going to be about that. Now, there is a small part of the OCD family, a small number of sufferers who have intrusive thoughts about order and symmetry. Now, these people tend to order things, structure things, and set up things in a very systematic way. They're very dealt with symmetry. For instance, on a couch, we'll make sure that the pillows on either side of the couch are sitting exactly the same as each other. There is that type of OCD. It's an OCD theme called order and symmetry. And somehow it's become known wrongly, especially on the internet, that all people with OCD have this problem with order and symmetry. It's also become known wrongly, especially on the internet, that anybody who is a neat freak, anybody who likes things ordered and in symmetry with one another, has OCD. It's simply not the case. Most people with OCD do not have the theme of order and symmetry. It simply doesn't happen. Now, there's lots of jokes on the internet about OCD and a lot of comments on the internet about OCD. And they all revolve around this concept of order and symmetry. Somebody will clean out their junk drawer, or they'll clean out the garage, and they'll organize everything to the nth degree. All the boxes line up on the shelves, all the shovels and the rakes are hanging perfectly, all the tools on the tool bench are organized properly, and they'll stand back and they'll say, "Wow, was I ever OCD today?" Well, no, you weren't, because it has nothing to do with OCD. People will do that, especially when they're cleaning. If they go into a cleaning fit or they go into an organizing fit, they'll go into the basement that hasn't been touched for 6 months and they'll organize it and clean it, and it's all just perfect, and everything's exactly in its place, and they'll stand back and say, "Oh wow, I'm a little OCD today." Well, no, you're not. You've never had OCD. You didn't have OCD when you were cleaning and organizing the basement, and you probably never will have OCD. Now, the people who are OCD sufferers who have the theme of order and symmetry sort of mimic the people who organize the junk drawer, the basement, the garage, but there's a big, distinct difference between the two. The people who don't have OCD stand back and feel proud of themselves. They feel an accomplishment. They feel like they did a really good job and it's done and it's over with. The people with OCD, because of the nature of the disorder, are never satisfied with what they do. They can stand back and say, "Wow, that couch looks really good now. I'm glad I did that." But very soon they get intrusive thoughts again that something is wrong, that something is amiss, and they have to fix it again. So even though they spent 5 minutes primping and fluffing the cushions on the couch to make them just so, and they've stood back and felt very temporarily that everything is perfect, these thoughts come back into their head and it forces them to do it again. So they go back to the couch and they reorganize and they reprimp and they refluff, and then they stand back and they get more thoughts and they have to go and do it again and again and again. And this is the biggest difference between people who have OCD, order and symmetry theme, and people who don't have OCD but enjoy being a bit of a neat freak once in a while. The people who just enjoy being a neat freak once in a while simply don't do things again and again and again. They're able to do it once, they stand back, they take pride in what they've done, and then they stop and they go on to the next thing. People with OCD, order and symmetry theme, simply don't do that. They're caught in a trap of obsessions, which are intrusive thoughts, and compulsions, which are the acts or behaviors that they do to try and alleviate the distress caused by the obsessions. That's the big difference, and that's why having OCD is not the same as being a neat freak. Thanks for watching, and be kind to yourself.